Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I got a couple requests from my Sephora recommendations video to do this tutorial, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. But a matte brown shadow look is one of my go-to favorite looks because it's super easy and super simple, and it makes you look done up but not overly done up, if that makes sense. So I love doing matte brown shadows. It's usually my go-to looks day to day, and then at night you can spruce it up with a shimmery lid shade, a darker lip, or just some eyeliner. So if you guys want to see how I did this look, just keep watching. Boba. My first time in, actually my second time in quarantine having boba. Oh my god, I miss boba so much. The first thing we're going to do is prime our lids. I'm going to use Louise base on a brush. I personally have really oily lids, so I always set my eyeshadow base with some sort of powder. I'm just using the Smashbox highlighting shade that comes in the palette, but you can use translucent powder, you could use face powder, just anything to lightly set the eyeshadow base. I feel like the P. Louise one is a little bit too tacky. And the only shadows I use for this look is the Huda Beauty Warm Obsessions palette, which a couple of you asked for a tutorial, and it's super simple. So I just use these shades in here. The first shade we're gonna go in with is the middle bottom shade, which is just a skin tone color, on a fluffy brush, and blend this color into your crease or your eyeshadow socket. I tend to gravitate to all matte brown shades on days when I'm running errands or just meeting up with friends for a daytime thing and just want to throw some shadow on. I tend to just do all matte neutral shades. That's why this palette is pretty convenient. It's really small, so it'd be really good to travel with. And it does come with one shimmery shade in the middle, so if you want to travel, apply this, and then for your nighttime look, throw on the shimmery shade. This would be the perfect palette for that. Next shade I'm going to go in with is directly to the right of it, this bottom right shade. It's a little bit darker and warmer, and I'm going to go with a Morphe R37 brush. So it's a fluffier brush, but it's a little bit more tapered and a little bit denser than the previous brush that I went in with. The denser the brush, the more color it's gonna put on. So I grabbed a little bit of a denser brush, apply that to the tip of the brush. And this we're gonna work in to the outer V and the crease. So you want to apply the majority of the color to the outer V, and then what's ever left on the brush, bring it into the crease just to deepen it just a little bit. Next shade we're going to go in with is the darkest brown shade in the middle left, and we're going to go in with a MAC 237 brush and apply this just to the outer corner, just to deepen up the look a little bit. We're gonna blend a little bit more, so we're gonna go back with our Morphe R37 brush and the same bottom right shadow, grab just a little bit and run it along the edge of the dark brown shadow we just applied. What the heck happened here? When did that get there? Okay, back to blending. So you want to blend not only around the edge, but also on the lid lightly so that There's a nice gradient fade going this way, but also this way. And you can play around with it however you want. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter, depending on your mood. I'm just gonna go in and deepen up the outer corner just a tiny bit. Lastly, we're gonna go in with the matte neutral shade in the middle right palette. With a fluffy brush, we're gonna use this not only as our highlight, so underneath the brow, but we're lightly going to use this on the lid just to brighten up the lid a tiny bit. Don't use too much. Next, we're going to apply some lashes. In my last video, I was wearing one of my favorite pairs, which is the Koko Lash Queen Bee. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply those off camera real quick and I'll be right back. It's so hot in here because I had to turn off my fan while I'm filming. It's really hot. Last step for this look is I'm gonna apply this dark brown shade right underneath my lash line, and I'm just going to use a pencil brush. This one is from Sigma and it's really old, so the number and name has wiped off, but it's just a pencil brush to apply right underneath your lash line. And then I'm just going to blend out the edges so there's no harsh lines. Next, I'm going to contour my cheeks with my beloved Smashbox contour palette. So I use the bronzer shade to warm up my skin first. And then the contour shade. For my blush, I'm just going to go in with a light coral shade Luminoso from Milani with a MAC 168 angled brush. For my highlight, I'm going to use the Dose of Colors Fuego highlighter with a Morphe M510. In my last video, I was wearing the Makeup Forever Total Taupe lip liner and Kat Von D's liquid lipstick in Ophelia. For my gloss, I used this YSL lip gloss in number 20. It's a really pretty nude with like gold sparkle in it, and I just used it in the center of my lip. And that is it for a super easy everyday matte eyeshadow tutorial. This is one of my go-to looks for days when I'm in a rush. It's super easy and super simple to do. All you really need is a couple blending brushes and a couple matte eyeshadows. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. On a couple, I just need a fan for like 2 seconds. It's so hot in here. Next I'm going, it's really hot. So, and for my gloss, I used these. Like I said, this is